And they're away. Into the red wasn't that cleanly away. Begins at the rear of the field, and the first away on the outside is Over the Deal from Top Javelin, who's right up there in the early stages. Dom Samurai began well, just shaded though by the Irish contender Miss Orchestra in the early stages. Further back in the field then, as they sort themselves out and head to the back now, is Another Excuse, followed then by Woodlands Genhire on the inside, and Fisher's Seal giving them a fair start. Cool Runner is out the back. Company there with Into the Red and Call It a Day. At the first of 24 fences, and the leaders jump it well, and there's a faller back in the field. Looks like Call It a Day. Call It a Day, I think, has come to grief there at the first. And the horse, in fact it is, Richard Johnson on the floor, but the horse is up and galloping merrily behind the field. Heading towards the second now. This is the Water, and the leaders jump it well. It's Over the Deal, who's out in front here by about 3 lengths to Top Javelin. A gap in the field then to Dom Samurai, who settles on the inside in about third position, followed then by Miss Orchestra as they come now towards the next plain fence. Then Woodlands Genhire, followed by Fisher's Seal as they continue their journey over the far side, climbing uphill towards the fourth. Kamikaze behind them in company with Another Excuse. They're followed by Una's Choice. Cool Runner is back towards the rear of the field in company there with Into the Red, and a long gap then to Carrar. Heading towards the fourth now, and it's the leader is Over the Deal. Jumped it well, lands over it by 4 or 5 lengths to Dom Samurai, who jumps it in second. Top Javelin up in third. 2 lengths away then is Another Excuse, followed next in the field by Miss Orchestra, who's on the inside. Cool Runner trapped out very wide as they round the home turn the first time. Kamikaze the grey, anxious to go faster, is in behind them, followed then by Fisher's Seal. Back in the field is Into the Red. Una's Choice is back there as well, followed by Carrar and Woodlands Genhire as they head up now towards fence number 5. Leaders jumping well, and the leader here is Over the Deal from on the near side Top Javelin. Further back then in third is the grey Dom Samurai, followed then by Cool Runner as they head now towards fence number 6, the open ditch. Slight mistake by the Irish contender Miss Orchestra, and further back is Another Excuse, followed then by Kamikaze. A gap in the field then to Fisher's Seal, followed then by Una's Choice as they head now towards the 7th. The leader jumps it well. Una's Choice is being tracked there by Into the Red. Carrar is well back towards the rear of the field, and 3 lengths away is Woodlands Genhire. Heading up now towards fence number 8. Dom Samurai, one of the joint favourites, moving up on the inside there, and Kamikaze just being eased a little bit to the inside, though hasn't lost much ground at all. They've got 2 complete circuits ahead of them, and it's Over the Deal who shows the way by half a length here to Cool Runner, who now moves up on the outside. 2 lengths to Dom Samurai. 1 length further back in the field then is Kamikaze, who's just tracking those leaders as they head into the back. Then on the outside is Another Excuse, followed then by Top Javelin, who's also very prominent as they head into the back now. Miss Orchestra not that far away as they head over the 9th. Fisher's Seal has lost a little bit of ground past there by Una's Choice, and Carrar is towards the rear of the field in company there with Woodlands Genhire. Heading now towards the 10th. This is the Water on the second occasion, and Over the Deal just being joined by Cool Runner in the lead there. Dom Samurai jumped it in third, then in fourth is Top Javelin, followed then by Kamikaze just behind them, followed by Miss Orchestra. A gap in the field then to Another Excuse. They're followed next in the field by Into the Red, who's just grabbed hold of the bit, followed by Another Excuse in company with Una's Choice. Fisher's Seal has lost a little bit of ground as they start to run uphill on the far side. A gap then to Carrar, and Woodlands Genhire is still at the tail of the field. Towards fence number 12. This is almost at the halfway mark in this Marstons Pedigree Midlands Grand National, and the leaders here are Over the Deal in the centre. On the left of picture is Cool Runner. On the right is the grey Dom Samurai, followed then by another grey Kamikaze just in behind them. That's another reason, another excuse I should say, moving up on the outside into third and fourth with a blue cap. The winner here two years ago. Behind them, Miss Orchestra, who's very handy as well, as they start to stack right up. Behind them, Una's Choice with Top Javelin. A gap then to Into the Red. Fisher's Seal has made up a little bit of ground now as they head towards the 13th. And the leader is Over the Deal. Jumped it in grand style. Carrara back in the field wasn't that fluent, jumping it a long last as Woodlands Gen Higher as they head to the second ditch, number 14. And the leader in the centre, Over the Deal. Dom Samurai still very handy on the inside, right up there in the early stages. Then on the left is Cool Runner in company with Another Excuse. And behind them, Kamikaze, who's under double wraps, wants to join in, but there's still well over a circuit to go as they come to the next, followed then by Miss Orchestra. They're followed next by Top Javelin, Una's Choice. Behind them is Into the Red, a long gap to Fisher Seal, followed by Carrara, and forget about Woodlands Gen Higher. At the 16th, a fractional leader over it was Cool Runner on the near side. From the two greys there, Dom Samurai and Kamikaze. Just behind them is Miss Orchestra, who's grabbed hold of the bit. Another Excuse behind them, followed next by Over the Deal, who's lost his position. He's dropped back very sharply, Over the Deal. Followed next in the field then as they swing into the back, Carrara a long way behind them. Top Javelin also struggling. Heading now towards what will be the 8th fence from home. Dom Samurai and the Irish contender Miss Orchestra together, joined by Kamikaze in the centre. They're 2 or 3 lengths in advance then of Cool Runner. 2 lengths further back then on the outside is Another Excuse being pushed along from Una's Choice as they head now towards the water. Behind them is Fisher Seal, a long gap then to Top Javelin. The leaders sail over the water. Fisher Seal wasn't that fluent. Into the Red is a long way behind them. Over the Deal has lost all chance and about to be passed by Carrara, and Woodlands Gen Higher is 100 yards behind him. Heading towards 6 out in the Midlands National, and it's Miss Orchestra with a noseband on the far side, joined by Kamikaze. They're 3 or 4 lengths to the other grey, Dom Samurai, who's being pushed along. Chris Morder's now drawn the whip as they race uphill on the far side. Over the Deal has been pulled up at the tail of the field. It's Kamikaze on the right, or Miss Orchestra on the left. A gap then to Dom Samurai, followed then by Fisher Seal as they head over 6 out. Back in the field then is Another Excuse. Cool Runner wasn't fluent. They're followed by Una's Choice, a long gap then to Into the Red. But as they leave the back now and start this long sweeping run towards home, they've got 4 fences left to jump. And the Marstons Pedigree Midlands National, and on the inside it's Kamikaze. On the outside, Miss Orchestra. They're stride for stride. The Irish contender maybe a fractional leader as they turn the corner now and head towards this plain fence 4 from home. On the far side, Miss Orchestra jumped it well. Kamikaze pecked on landing there, lost about 2 lengths. 4 or 5 lengths further back in the field then is Another Excuse. There's a faller there, 4 out. As we look back, it's Fisher Seal. At the last ditch, 3 out. Miss Orchestra jumps into a clear lead by 4 or 5 lengths. Kamikaze continuing in second. A long gap, then Another Excuse, followed by Dom Samurai, who can't do any better. They've got 2 fences left to jump. Miss Orchestra for Ireland comes towards it now, nicely clear. Jumps it in spectacular fashion. Lands over at about 4 or 5 in front of Kamikaze. Then Another Excuse from Dom Samurai. They're well clear then of Una's Choice. They've got 1 left to jump in the Midlands National, and Miss Orchestra about 6 in front, draws towards it now. She jumps it well. She's outstaying them in the run to the line. She's about 6 or 8 lengths in front. Kamikaze battling on, then Dom Samurai, but in the run up to the line, it's Miss Orchestra who's going to go on and score in the Midlands National by 6 or 7 lengths. Kamikaze is second, Another Excuse in third, followed by Dom Samurai 4th from Carrara, then Una's Choice. Behind them is Into the Red, followed then by Top Javelin, and they are the only finishers in the Midlands Grand National. Well, no, there's another one still coming, Woodlands Gen Higher, and Cool Runner has been pulled up. The winner is number 12, Miss Orchestra, ridden by the Irish rider Barry Geraghty, trained by Jessica Harrington and raced by the BB Horse Racing Club. Second, number 6, Kamikaze, Norman Williamson. Third, number 4, Another Excuse, ridden by Brendan Powell. And fourth, number 2, Dom Samurai. But that slight peck on landing, 4 out, has cost him dearly. And he hit a few early as well. Number 12, Miss Orchestra, the winner, owned by BB Horse Racing Club, trained by Jessica Harrington, ridden by Barry Geraghty at 6 to 1. Second, number 2, Kamikaze, owned by Major B Gayton Speed, trained by Kim Bailey, ridden by Norman Williamson, the 3 to 1 joint favourite. And third, number 4, Another Excuse, owned by Kilshannig Racing Syndicate, trained by Eugene O'Sullivan, ridden by Brendan Powell at